Welcome back to CEO Chats, guys. Thank you so much for being patient. I know I've taken a little bit of a break, but that's because I wanted to refocus and reorganize what it is that I wanted to tell you guys. This next series is going to be called They're Trying to Kill Us. And I'm specifically talking to my community, the Black community, about the ways in which we are out here being killed financially, health-wise, spiritually, relationship-wise, and in so many other areas. And I know that you guys are feeling it. A lot of people right now during the pandemic, we're feeling depressed. We have the Black Lives Matter movement happening all around us, but we feel like nothing is actually happening as far as legislatively. So I'm really just trying to take a breath, take a break, and really decompress a lot of those issues that are going on. And I'm so excited to introduce my guest here, Danny, and I have my mother, Jackie. And right now, the reason why I have both of them together is because today we're going to focus on health and the ways in which that Black people are being killed as far as physically. And Danny is a fitness trainer. And it is so cool that I have him in my life because he's been a really positive reinforcement for me online, a really positive reinforcement on my mother. I don't know if you can tell, but, she's, can I say it? Can I say it? She's 58, guys. You can't really tell, but this woman looks absolutely amazing. And Danny is a huge contributing factor to her growth in that way. And we want to continue the conversation. And Danny, how are you? What's going on?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's good to see you. Good to see you again, Jackie. I'm just happy to be here and can't wait to get deep into this conversation.
Yeah, I want to first ask you, how did you get started in fitness? Because I've kind of seen your journey and I've seen that you have a personal one.
Yes.
And I want to ask you, how'd you get started?
As a kid, I was always athletic at, a certain point. But then as you get older, things slow down. And what got me back into fitness and stayed into fitness was the death of my mother and then the birth of my last son. My mother died at 49 years old from a massive heart attack. And it was sudden. It wasn't something we expected to happen. And then when she died, I went through a depressed state. I started drinking a lot, eating bad, not really paying attention to my health. And then I, in turn, gained a lot of weight, had a bunch of ailments, high blood pressure, all of these things. Then 5 years later, my last son was born, Devin. He's 8 now. 2013, and I took a picture of me and him together. And when I saw the picture, I just didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I felt. I knew, he was like 2 weeks old. He was just on my stomach, and I just remember him going up and down on my stomach, and I'm like, this is not good. And I didn't want my kids, because I have 3 sons, I didn't want them to experience the loss and the void that I felt losing my parents young. So I decided that day that I was going to make a change, and I haven't looked back since.
Wow, I'm really happy you touched on that because I also lost a parent at 42, and what a lot of people don't realize is your health now, at this age is a direct reflection of how long you're going to live. And
Absolutely.
A lot of those opportunities to eat healthy, to go to a really nice gym don't even exist in our community. And I want to turn to my mother, Jacqueline Glass, and I want to ask you about your journey because, I'm not sure, I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm starting this journey kind of in my 20s, and I know that you felt a little bit like you were starting a little bit late, but the turnaround has been absolutely amazing, and I think that it could be a direct reflection of how other men and women might feel like, oh, it's too late for me, and I kind of want to segue into that.
Well, thank you so much for having me as a guest. And my journey began probably a little over 10 years ago. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, and hypothyroid. And the doctor just wanted to give me medicine and just gave me a bunch of medicine. And I remember my daughter, that said, there's a wellness program, Mom. There's this program, and it was not too far from where we lived in New Jersey. And, you said, maybe you should try this. So I tried this wellness program, that was sponsored by a major supermarket company, and it really made a huge difference. Nutrition was the main thing, the catalyst that helped to turn around my health. And I didn't tell the doctor that I wasn't taking any medication. I just said, okay, I'll see you in 3 months. And basically, I went on a plant-based type lifestyle. And of course, I found a phenomenal trainer who was Danny Crawford. And I'm not sure if Danny was fully licensed there. Might have been practicing on me. I'm not sure. But,
Yes.
it was good. I felt real special. I was, working out. He had me doing push-ups and pull-ups and, all kind of stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is that? You can do it. You can do it. He'd always have that positive reinforcement. So with the exercise, I started to lose weight with the change eating, and I started to feel a lot more energetic. I received my energy back. I was working a very strenuous job that was very stressful. So when I went back to the doctor 3 months later, she's looking at the paperwork, and she's like, what's going on? This is a miracle. This is a miracle. And she asked me, well, what did you do?
Right.
I said, well, what I didn't do was take that medication y'all gave me, the metformin and the hydro this and what I didn't do.
Yeah.
And she said, well, what happened? And I told her exactly what I was doing, going on a plant-based way of eating and how that just changed my life. And she is a very well-known doctor in Manhattan on the Upper West Side. She says she's going to put all her elderly heart patients on a plant-based diet. Heart disease is the number one killer.
I wouldn't
of
call you
women.
Elderly.
Okay, well, I'm just bringing back 60 as the new 40.
Go ahead.
That's what I'm doing here. But
Oh man.
her elderly patients, she wanted to put them on a plant-based lifestyle because they had a history of heart condition. So for me, it was an aha moment. It was like, wow, food is making all the difference in the world.
Right.
And, I just started eating food that was based on nutritional value. So if it had more than 3 ingredients on it, I had to look at it sideways. I started in the produce aisle. And what's really sad in a lot of communities, in the African-American community, like if you go into a Caucasian affluent community, you walk in the supermarket and you will see the produce aisle. If you go in the hood, you looking for produce, because you can't find them. Everything is preservatives with a lot of salt, with a lot of sugar, and these things, they cause your body to break down and to get sick, and eventually you either need to make a change or you're going to be on a lifetime of medication and your life will be shortened.
I think that's amazing and incredible, and to see the 10 years I got to live them with you. I think it made it a huge impact on the way that I think about health. And I'm so happy and proud of you that you're taking on this journey because you're being the example that, our community needs. And I really want to kind of segue into the community aspect because a big part of the Whole Foods program that you're talking about, a big part of the reason why we would go is because of the familiar faces, because of the laughter, because we had the support. And same thing with you, Danny, you have a community as far as your fitness group. I went once. I couldn't finish. I didn't finish, but the support of the members of your community, I think we come back for each other, and I want to talk about what you guys are building and how you're building community.
Yeah, that's important. A lot of people, when they have this community and that support, it makes them feel like they're a part of something. Everyone holds each other accountable. It's not just me holding you accountable. Now you have Jackie texting Julie like, hey, I didn't see you in class today, and vice versa. And then sometimes they even go and start working out together without me, which is great, which I love. I love that community aspect. We recently did a trip to St. Martin, and that built an even bigger community. It wasn't just 20, 30 people. We were in the hundreds.
The girlfriend getaway.
The girlfriend getaway.
Sponsored by Sisters at the Well.
Sisters at the Well.
Yes.
That's right. And we were all there. And walking away from that, my takeaway from that was, this is bigger than just my business, Versatile Fitness. This is bigger than Sisters at the Well. This is something that can change the world. And it's going to change the world. And we're just going to continue to grow. And we decided to even continue with online, creating an online community, Sister Soul Nutrition. And I don't know, Jackie, if you want to touch on that, because that's your brainchild right there.
First of all, Danny, you are a partner and you are a part of Sister Soul Nutrition. It is a continuation. We want to keep the journey going, keep the party going. One of the things at the Girlfriend Getaway, we had this big all-white party, and DJ Spinderella, she came down with her daughter, and she was spinning the wheels. And, it wasn't just a party. Obviously, it was speakers, it was the ocean, there was yoga every day, it was the support system, unbelievable support system. Every one of the 100 women, when I'm talking to them, I'm calling them and following up, everybody wants to bring 5 people. So I'm not sure what we're doing next year, the space for 500 people.
We might have to break it up.
Everybody wants to bring family and friends. So in order to continue the journey, because health and wellness is so important to me, but it's really important to share with my community. The online program is going to be so important because then they'll be able to see you live.
Yes.
They'll be able to see Dr. Barber, who is a medical doctor who practices in a holistic way and integrative medicine. They'll be able to see Jessica, who is a licensed nutritionist, and she's going to do these meal prep Sundays where everybody's going to prep 10 meals, and we're doing it together in community. And they'll be able to see Romy, who is the energy queen, and Romy's going to walk us through the 10 habits of good health. And one of the things I recently learned, mindset, but sleep is so very important to good health because people, their body can't fight off disease when they have lack of sleep. It's hard to lose weight when they have lack of sleep. And
muscles don't grow.
Muscles don't grow. They can't even think well. You can't make decisions. They say, sleep on it, that saying, sleep on it. That's real. You need to sleep on it and go into all 3 realms of sleep. Get that really good deep sleep. So we're going to teach all of those habits of, having a wonderful full life that I believe that's going to add years onto the lives of particularly African American women. Because when we were doing the website and we tried to find women to put on the website, they show women that look like my daughter that's all young and fit. But wait a minute, we're the ones that's big, we're the ones that's darker skinned sisters, and we're the ones that are older.
Yes.
They are not in those stock photos, so we have to change that trajectory.
And when they see that, in their minds, they're thinking, it's too late for me. So we show them women that look like them. You know what? She could do it, I can do it. And that's what we want to project out there. It's never too late.
And you guys are really out here doing it, and you're being so modest, guys, because the Girlfriend Getaway, we had names like, you just mentioned Spinderella, but we also had Steve Harvey's daughters, Brandy and Carly Harvey there. Yes. We also had the Kojo family there. Not all of them were there, but some of them made it out, and then Delroy Lindo was also helping promote for us. Yes. This is a real movement, not just within our community, but this is bigger than us. And the crazy part is we're only at the beginning stages of it. And you guys, these are people that are actively doing what they can to not just change themselves. We just heard about you guys individually, but you're changing those outside of you. This is your mission. This is your passion. And, our community is so disadvantaged. We just talked about food scarcity, the fresh food scarcity in our neighborhoods. We talked about, maybe sometimes how we're not stressed and we're not sleeping, and just all of these triggers that could lead to an unhealthy lifestyle. Yes. And what you're doing is you're bringing fun, you're bringing community, you're bringing love, you're bringing friendship, and you're bringing it together into this virtual community, this virtual program, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you, and I just wanted to say thank you.
I don't mean to cut you off, but what I also love about it is when we did the Girlfriends Getaway, we had a section or a segment where we talked about finances. And that's another thing that's we're targeted because of the social economic disparities and the way we are I guess, you could say targeted to, lack of resources in certain neighborhoods, lack of education, the crime rate. All of those things are just happening. When you pull resources out, when you pull money out, when you stop after school programs or you pull supermarkets out, desperate times calls for desperate measures, and that's when things happen as far as crime rate going up and education going down. So when we had, what's his name again, the guy that spoke on the finances?
Norman Leslie.
Norman, yes. He's from Connecticut as well.
Yeah.
And he really broke down, the mindset that we need to be in to increase our credit, to, be more mindful of our spending. And that empowers us. That gives us power. If we have enough finances and those resources, it gives us the power to kind of like make better choices and to require, them to give us certain resources and certain levels of protection that they don't give us because we don't have the finances.
Yeah. So, Danny, most people don't know this about you, but you have a book out.
Yes.
Tell me about your book.
So my book is about weight loss. So I specialize in weight loss. And the book is called How to Lose Weight and Never Find It Again. Briefly, I'll give 9 proven steps that helped me to help you lose weight. Not just lose it, but to keep it off. One of my main issues when I was training was I realized some of my clients, after months of not training with me, I see them months later and they kind of gain the weight back. So I wrote this book to kind of help people make that mental switch, that behavior change, and so they can keep it off. So it could be a lifestyle and not just something you're doing because your trainer is making you do it.
Nice.
So it's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and it's, you can hit me directly to get a signed copy. So, you got a copy.
But I would like to share that Danny is the trainer on our virtual program, and I'm hoping that he's going to partner with Sistah Soul Nutrition because exercise is excellent and it needs to be a part of our everyday movement.
Yes, movement is medicine.
80% of weight loss is what's going in that mouth. You could eat what you want and exercise every day and maintain. You're not losing any weight, but we want to be able to reverse disease. We want people that have diabetes 3 months later say, I'm off my medication. People that have high blood pressure, I'm not taking blood pressure medication anymore. People that have high cholesterol, their numbers are not showing high cholesterol. We want to make an impact. With that new movie talking about they're trying to kill us,
Absolutely.
we coming back with, well, this is what we're going to do about that. This is the answer to it. We're
Right.
fighting back.
Then this is what we're going to do about it.
So look for that virtual program, www.sistahsoulnutrition.com, and we are launching January 1st, and we will probably be full, and those that sign up can catch the class in March.
And everybody that's a part of that program in a couple of months, they're going to be saying, new year, new me.
And they get a free copy of your book, right?
And they get a free copy of the book.
Yeah, I mean, guys, if you want a copy, there's going to be a link in the description below. Make sure you get a copy of Danny's book, but also make sure to like, subscribe, and comment and support. I'll also include my mom's information on the virtual wellness program so you can continue on this wellness journey. It's a new year, it's a new me, but we're going to do it as a community. And I think that's what's going to be important. And I think that's why it's going to stick. So make sure you subscribe, please, because that's how I'm going to monetize. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.
That's right.